Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the... Sorry, I got to remember the name of the new sponsor. It's been so many seasons with our previous sponsor. This is the Trackside NASCAR Outlet Gen 4 Cup Series here from Texas Motor Speedway with the Doghouse Racing League on iRacing. Getting ready for race number 2 of the season. And it's going to be a great one, as always, here in the Doghouse Racing League. Currently up at the top of the leaderboard, no surprise here, we see the 25 of Jonathan Jennings. Jamie Horn in second, Chuck Sweeting currently third. Mike Leftwich, last week's winner, showing fourth on the speed charts in that 60 machine. Shane Parrish is your fifth fastest driver here in practice. As we take a look at our points coming into tonight. You see, obviously, Michael Leftwich, the leader at the points right now, due to winning last week. Hunter Simpson sits back in second. Michael Dow in third. Jess McMahon and Steve Gerber round out your top 5. We'll leave the points on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is currently in the top 31. Of course, this season is brought to you this year by Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Trackside NASCAR Outlet is an authorized Lionel Racing dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, Xfinity, truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything, including full and mini-size helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow on Facebook, and check out their website at www.tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League is also brought to you by Group 6. Rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse Racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, we're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6inc.com. Links down below in the description. And tonight's race is brought to you by MARSS Properties. MARSS Properties offers a vacation house getaways in North Carolina within an hour from the ocean. Call 817-705-4108 and speak to Shane directly about your North Carolina getaway. Of course, links are down in the description as well, and you can check it all out at the link below. As we, that's Mike Leftwich having some trouble there off of turn number 2. And turn number 2 is usually a trouble spot here at Texas Motor Speedway. As the checker flag flies here in our practice session. And we get ready. We already got some chats going on here. We see Let's Go Ingle, number 89. Of course, thank you, Lindsay, for the shout out there. Good to see you here in the chat. As qualifying is about to get underway. 5 minutes of qualifying here at Texas Motor Speedway. This is the old Texas Motor Speedway, so a little bit tighter radius, not quite so much banking, and of course the transition off of turn number 2 drops off really quickly, so that'll be the trouble spot here tonight. We'll see drivers getting loose off of turn number 2, and here is Shane Parrish in that MARSS Properties machine, making his way down into turns 3 and 4. And down across the stripe, going to take the green flag on his first of 2 laps here. A couple other drivers out on the track. We've got Brent McCoy in the 29 out there making his laps. Carson Burrows in the 1 machine, just coming down into turns 3 and 4 on his warm-up lap. Chris Leftwich in that 13 machine out there as well, just coming across the stripe to take the green flag. As we see Shane Parrish come across the stripe, he's going to be the first one to set a time here. Currently at the top of the leaderboard, but Jamie Horn knocks him off. See Brett McCoy currently back in the 3rd position. See what Shane can do here coming off of turn number 4 down towards the stripe. See if he's able to better Jamie Horn here on this second lap. And he does not, but Jonathan Jennings goes up to the top of the leaderboard. Here's Chris Leftwich coming down the backstretch into turn number 3 on his second lap. Making his way down across the stripe. And Chris Leftwich is going to move up into the 7th position as Chuck Sweeting just goes second quickest. Here's Jason Ross in the 00 coming down across the stripe. And Ross will move up into the 13th position. A little different look this week for Stephen Bonomo in that 9 machine. Steve Gerber jumps up into the 6th spot as Bonomo slides up into the 11th position. Here's the 157 of John Ganas coming down off of turn number 2. Gets a little loose there off the corner exit, able to hold on to it. Down into turn number 3, running that higher line through turns 3 and 4. Kind of cuts it down to the middle of the racetrack, tries to run it down the hill. See if that helps him here as he comes down across the stripe. And Ganas is going to be in the 22nd position. As here comes the 117 of Richard Leclerc. Down across the stripe for his first lap. Going to put him in 19th. So he's able to better that here on his second lap. Currently John Smith also out on the racetrack, as well as Eric Warman. Down through turns 3 and 4, Leclerc coming to the... gets loose off of turn number 4. That's going to hurt his time here as he comes across the stripe. He's not going to be able to better his time here. Here comes John Smith across the stripe. And Smith is going to jump up into the 4th position with about a minute left. We got Warman out on the racetrack trying to get his qualifying attempt in. And with 30-second laps, he should be able to get both laps in here as he makes his way off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Down into turn number 3. Tries to get it down to that white line. Right down across the stripe. His first lap's going to be good enough. For the 25th position. We'll see if he's able to better that here on his second lap. As Warman now comes down into turn number 3, down to the stripe. And Eric Warman's going to be good enough for the 19th position. So we'll take a look at our starting grid here tonight. And Jonathan Jennings on pole with Chuck Sweeting in the 2nd position. Jamie Horn and John Smith make up row number 2. Then Christopher Simon and Shane Parrish back in row number 3. Steve Gerber, Tyler Millette make up row number 4. Then Mike Leftwich, last week's winner, and Adam Thompson in row number 5. Row 6 will find Chris Leftwich and Brent McCoy, followed by Stephen Bonomo in the 9 machine and Carson Burrows back in 14th. Mark Dumont in the 14 rolls off from the 15th position with Bill Gentry back in the 16th spot. Jason Ross and Adam Weichel make up row number 9, followed by Eric Warman and Jeffrey Engel back in the 10th row. Richard Leclerc is going to roll off 11th with Kevin Brown back in 12th. Michael Dow and Daniel Wilkerson in row number 12. Excuse me. Had a little brain fart there for a second. John Ganas, Josh Cully, Kevin Powell, and Zachary Tile round out the rest of the field here tonight from Texas Motor Speedway. As the cars get lined up on the front stretch, we get ready for 110 laps here from Texas Motor Speedway. Again, this is the MARSS Properties 120. MARSS Properties offers vacation house getaways in North Carolina within an hour from the ocean. Call 817-705-4108. Speak to Shane directly about your North Carolina getaway. Again, your series sponsor is Trackside NASCAR Outlet. This is the Trackside NASCAR Outlet Gen 4 Series. Trackside NASCAR Outlet is an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, Xfinity, truck, driver apparel, hats, jackets. They've got it all. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything from NASCAR, including full and mini-size helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store. Follow them on Facebook or check out their website at www.tracksidenascaroutlet.com. So the field is making their way down the backstretch, getting ready to bring this field to the green flag. First start will be on the flag, so Jonathan Jennings getting ready to lead them down to the starting zone. Pace car going to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. The green flag is in the air, and we are racing here from Texas Motor Speedway. Great jump for our front row as they leave the rest of the field sleeping as Jennings dives down on the inside into turn number 1. Sweeting has to concede. He's going to give up that and fall into the second position as the field makes their way off of turn number 2 for the first time, and your leaders start to pull away from the rest of the field. Meanwhile, the field's starting to get organized back here as we see Tyler Millette in this 94 machine. He's got a battle of Adam Thompson and Steve Gerber right behind him. As they go side by side across the stripe, Jonathan Jennings is going to lead lap number 1. Jason Ross trying to make a move down underneath Stephen Bonomo as they go down into turn number 1. Right behind, we see Eric Warman taking a look down to the inside of Mark Dumont right behind. Christopher Leftwich trying to use that high lane to get by the 00 of Jason Ross as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3. Up front, Chuck Sweeting starting to gain a little bit on the 25 of Jonathan Jennings as they come down across the stripe. Jennings looks like he's a little bit quicker in the straight line, but Sweeting's able to get through the corners just a little bit better. As Jason Ross now up on that high side, Christopher Leftwich able to get around the 13. Issues for Steve Engel. Looks like he just went off the racetrack a moment ago. Let's take a look to see what happened to the 89 machine. Oh, got up into the outside wall and then came down across the grass. So a little bit of damage for that 89 machine, but a lot of racing left to go. Plenty of time to gain that back up as we continue under green. Chris Leftwich taking a look at the back bumper of Stephen Bonomo as they come off of turn number 2. Ooh, a little wiggle there for the 9 of Bonomo. That's going to allow Chris Leftwich to take a look down to the inside as they go down into turns 3 and 4. Mike Leftwich right in front as well, last week's winner. Seeing if he can go back-to-back here in the Doghouse Racing League. As we are working lap number 5. Got this little gaggle of cars right here as Chris Leftwich thought about making a move underneath Stu Bonomo. Tucks back in line. As the field makes their way off of turn number 4 and down to the start-finish line, Chuck Sweeting gets around Jonathan Jennings for that top spot. Let's take a look to see how he made the pass, set him up down to the inside, down off of turn number 4. And Sweeting's going to easily take over that top spot. And that clean air is going to help that 75 as he's starting to pull away from Jonathan Jennings just a little bit. Jamie Horn starting to run down the 66 of Shane Parrish. And Jason Ross down on pit road, not really sure what happened to the 00. We see damage to the right side of that car. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened to Ross here. Yeah, it looks like just slipped up. Got a little loose up off the corner there. And now we are under yellow. And it looks like the yellow was brought out by... Oh, the 66, Shane Parrish. Just going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. We saw Shane Parrish. He was making a charge up towards the front. Oh, just caught the wall just a little bit. And then Jamie Horn catches the back bumper of the 66. Doesn't look like too much damage for Shane, though. Just a little bit of rear end damage. He should be able to continue on without much issue. He's going to have to come down pit road and get some of that damage fixed, as the entire field is making their way down pit road on lap number 9. So pit stops taking place right now. Brent McCoy, Mark Dumont, Adam Weichel, Bill Gentry, Richard Leclerc, and Zachary Tyler all stayed out on the racetrack. So that's going to leave 6 cars out on the racetrack with older tires, as Jonathan Jennings wins the race off pit road, followed by Chuck Sweeting, John Smith, Christopher Simon, and Jamie Horn. Mostly fuel only for pretty much everybody except for Chris Leftwich, who took 4 tires. Looks like Kevin Brown may have taken 2 tires. Same with Michael Dow. So we're going to have a couple different tire strategies out here tonight. Going to have to see how this one plays out here with the different tire strategies. We know we've already seen the track is pretty slick. So some of these drivers that may have stayed out or only taken 2 tires may have some issues here. We'll have to see how this, again, plays out as the run goes on. As we're going to get them re-racked, restacked, and going to get ready to refire him here. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road, and Brent McCoy going to lead him back down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air, and we are back racing here from Texas Motor Speedway. Already, we've got a little action towards the back here as Richard Leclerc is side by side. Actually, almost stuck in the middle 3 wide, as here comes the 23 of John Smith down to the inside. And Smith's going to take that spot away. Jonathan Jennings on fuel only. Starting to make his way back through the field. Now Jennings looking up to the high side of Bill Gentry. He's going to take that spot away. Meanwhile, Brent McCoy up front continues to lead. Over second place, Mark Dumont and Adam Weichel. As little Zachary Tyler goes around Adam Weichel to take over that third position. But look who's up on the high side. That is the 25 of Jonathan Jennings. Continue to move forward around the 17 of Weichel and making a hard charge here on lap number 15. Meanwhile, a gaggle of cars back here. All 2 and possibly 3 wide as Jamie Horn thought about pushing it 3 wide there for a second. He's on the back bumper of Christopher Simon as they come down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Now that 17 of Weichel continues to fall back. Trying to get some track position here. Unfortunately, just not able to stay ahead of these hard-charging cars. Oh, one car way down on the bottom. That was Steven Bonomo. What a save for the 9. Looks like he might have had a little bit of help there. Let's go back and see what happened to Bonomo. I think he just got loose a little bit by himself. Or did he have some help? We'll go back. Oh, yeah, he had just a little bit of help there. See one car, try to see who that is at the 14. No, it's the 17 of Weichel, bounces off the wall. Makes some contact with Steven Bonomo. He's able, what a save. That car was completely sideways. He was able to hold on to it. He's back in line. Unfortunately, fell back to the 19th position, but a lot of racing left. He could make his way back up towards the front. Meanwhile, a little battle going on back here. It's a battle for the 7th spot between Chuck Sweeting and Adam Thompson. And Chris Leftwich taking a look down to the inside of his father, Mike, as they go down into turn number 3. And Chris going to easily take that spot away. Meanwhile, the 4 of Bill Gentry having some issues here. He's going backwards, just got passed by Tyler Millette. And here comes the 1 of Carson Burrows, trying to make his way around the 4 as well. Meanwhile, Jonathan Jennings kind of just stalled out back here. He was charging towards the front. And now he's kind of just stalled out in that 4th position as he's trying to make his way around the 10 of Zachary Tyler, which he will. Also, we see Christopher Simon battling with the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Chuck able to move up into the 6th position. So Jennings charging hard here. Just drove himself back up into the 3rd spot. Trying to run down Mark Dumont and Brett McCoy. Meanwhile, Eric Warman back here in the battle. We see just a swarm of cars coming down the backstretch. Tyler Millette down on the inside, Warman up on the high side. Here comes Bill Gentry, the 1 of Carson Burrows back here. Josh Cully, Richard Leclerc, bunch of drivers just stacking up here in the middle of the field. Meanwhile, here comes Chris Leftwich, trying to look up to the high side of John Smith as they come off of turn number 2. Leftwich catches the wall just a little bit. That's going to break his momentum. And John Smith's going to have to figure something out to keep that 13 car behind him. Here comes Chuck Sweeting now around the 10 of Zachary Tyler. So move Sweeting up into the 5th position. He's going to set his sights on the 98 of Jamie Horn. Well, Brent McCoy now under attack from Jonathan Jennings. Jennings is going to try to take that lead back away. As I come off of turn number 2, down the backstretch, Jennings has the position. He's looking out to the inside. They go down into turns 3 and 4. And Jennings going to take over the top spot. Meanwhile, Chris Leftwich looking up to the high side of Christopher Simon as they're going around Zachary Tyler. So Tyler, driver who stayed out on older tires, did not come down pit road. Tried to gain some track position, which he did. He's currently up 20 spots from where he started. So there's a driver who used some track position to put him in a good spot, as here goes Chris Leftwich around the 21 machine of Christopher Simon. And how about this? Chuck Sweeting around Jamie Horn. And Sweeting trying to make a move here on the 14 of Mark Dumont down into turn number 1. Sweeting's going to take that spot. Jamie Horn's going to follow on through. Steve Gerber making a move down to the inside of Adam Thompson. Battle for the 10th position. And unfortunately, for the Jeff Ringo fans, he has officially retired from the race, being scored in the last position, currently showing out. One driver 2 laps off the pace. That is the 00 of Jason Ross. Looks like he still has quite a bit of damage to the right side of that machine. But if he could get a caution, he could probably get a couple of those laps back. Off a couple cautions and get himself right back in the race and get that car repaired. Meanwhile, this battle continues here between Adam Thompson and Steve Gerber. And running up on the 10 of Zachary Tyler, who just caught the outside wall. Gerber has to make an evasive move down to the inside. Thompson right there on the back bumper. You take a look off the back bumper here of Steven Gerber. So they come down the front stretch towards turn number 1. Another battle starting to shape up here. Chris Leftwich, Jamie Horn. Looks like Leftwich was just able to get around Jamie Horn to move himself up into the 4th position. He's trying to chase down the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Brent McCoy, though, still sitting in that 2nd position. Gained 10 spots on that round of pit stops. As Mike Leftwich now taking a look down to the inside of Steve Gerber. Almost some contact between the 8 and the 60 as they come down the backstretch into turn at number 3. You see right behind the 4 Bill Gentry running that higher lane. As Mike Leftwich gets loose in the corner, catches the apron, slides all the way up the racetrack. That's going to allow the 4 to make a move to the inside. He's going to lose a couple spots as here comes the 17 of Adam Weichel down to the inside, and Eric Warman trying to pounce on Mike Leftwich as well. Leftwich with the feel-good story last week, getting his first Doghouse Gen 4 Series win, his first Tuesday night win. Finds himself running back in the 12th position. Just having a solid run as the 31 of Eric Warman takes a look down to the inside to try to take away the 12th position. Adam Thompson, Steve Gerber still going at it back here. So Gerber's trying to find a way around the 71 machine. Thompson, though, really working the wheel in that machine. So we ride along here and take a look at Adam Thompson. You see just how much these drivers are going to have to turn the wheel to the right off the corner. You hear the RPMs come up a little bit right there. That's that car getting a little loose there off the corner. You see it mostly off of turn number 2. You see down off of turn number 4. A much straighter, prettier wheel for Adam Thompson. But as they come down into turn number 1, you'll see that wheel start to turn more to the right here, especially on corner exit. As they try to hold on to that machine down the backstretch and pulling away from Steve Gerber. A couple drivers down on pit road right now. We see the 14 of Mark Dumont, Adam Weichel on pit road as well, Richard Leclerc, Zachary Tyler, Jason Ross, some of the drivers that did not pit on the first one, on the caution that we had. More drivers making their way down onto pit road. Here's Brent McCoy, Bill Gentry on pit road as well. As we are quickly approaching the halfway mark, we are 5 laps away from halfway. As Jonathan Jennings continues the lead. He's got a 1.1 second lead over Chris Leftwich right now. But Chris Leftwich is coming in a hurry. As you can see by Jennings' times being orange, those are the laps that Leftwich has been quicker than Jennings. And right now it's all but one. You can see the delta where Leftwich is slowly gaining on, and now it's down to under a second for Chris Leftwich as they come down into turn number 1. So Leftwich doing everything he can to chase down that 25 machine as Eric Warman makes a move around Adam Thompson to take over the 7th position. It sounds like, I think I just heard Kevin Brown coming down on the pit road this time. He indeed peels down on the pit road. There's a little battle heating up back here between Daniel Wilkerson and Michael Dow. Dow was trying to take a look down to the inside. We see Tyler Millette down on the low side as well. So they're going to go 3 wide for a second down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Looked like Millette was struggling. I thought he was going to come down on the pit road, but there are some takers down on the pit road. Here comes the one of Carson Burrows. Mike Leftwich down on pit road. Here's Stephen Bonomo making his way down to his pit stall. As Jonathan Jennings comes across the stripe this time, that will be the halfway mark. Just 40 laps to go here from Texas Motor Speedway. Adam Thompson down on pit road getting his service done. Jennings going to put the 71 machine 1 lap down. As Kevin Powell in the 93 makes his way down on the pit road. So the question is, when do our leaders pit? Here they come. As I say, here comes Jonathan Jennings down on the pit road. Chris Leftwich on the pit road. Chuck Sweeting stays out. Christopher Simon follows down on the pit road as well. So Chuck Sweeting is going to take over the top spot here. With Jamie Horn second, John Smith, Eric Warman, and Steve Gerber, your top 5. Just heard another driver say that they were coming down on the pit road. Steve Gerber is going to be coming down pit road as well. Michael Dow coming down the pit road. Here comes the 75 of Sweeting. There's Jamie Horn on pit road. John Smith also down on pit road. Eric Warman makes his way down to his box. Steve Gerber. Daniel Wilkerson. Michael Dow. Tyler Millette. So most of the field coming down pit road this time. We'll see if Brett McCoy comes down pit road as well. No, he's going to pass right by pit road. I'll leave Jonathan Jennings as the next car. So just 2 cars left to pit. The 88 of Josh Cully. It looks like he's peeling off on the pit road right here. And the 29 of Brent McCoy. As McCoy is going to come down and go past pit road yet again. So with 36 laps to go, McCoy, the only driver out there who has not pit on this cycle of pit stops. He did come down pit road on lap 34. So I take that back. It looks like he has already come down pit road. Let's see if we can find the pit strategy button here. Yeah, McCoy's already been down on pit road. So using a little bit earlier pit strategy to get him down on and off of pit road. That's put him up into the lead. So now I take that back. The entire field has indeed pit. However, McCoy is losing a bit of time right now to Jonathan Jennings. So we see that interval, Jennings, that gap is shrinking. Just under 4.5 seconds now. We take a look at the lap time history. Jennings has been pretty much a half a second quicker, a little bit more than that at times, than McCoy. Although Jennings will have to deal with some lap traffic. Take a look at that black car way out in the distance. That is the 29 of Brent McCoy. And 3 cars are separated by him and Jennings. That's the 28 of Daniel Wilkerson. We see Michael Dow and Tyler Millette. So McCoy out in front, using a little strategy to stay out in front as Jason Ross has just made his way down pit road. Ooh, and Mike Leftwich hard up into the outside wall. Here comes hard charging Jennings. See if he's able to get around the 60 machine without issue, which he will. And McCoy, who had that lap traffic behind him, ooh, gets a little loose on entry there in front of these lap down cars who are trying to get themselves back onto the lead lap. Right now, he's trying to keep these lappers behind him so that Jonathan Jennings has some traffic to deal with. But Daniel Wilkerson looks like he's running out of patience here, stuck behind the 29 machine. As Wilkerson's going to take a look down to the inside. McCoy going to stay up on the high side, let all 3 lap drivers by. And that was the help that he was going to need to keep Jonathan Jennings behind him. Now Jonathan Jennings in a little bit of clean air. You see that 25 machine behind and gaining quickly. Jennings has now cut that lead to under a second. And now he is right there on the back bumper. He makes a move down to the inside, and Jonathan Jennings is going to retake over the lead with 28 laps to go. John Smith trying to run down the 14 of Mark Dumont. He'll go right around the outside, move Smith up into the 8th position. And he's setting his sights on the 17 of Weichel really quickly as well. Smith right around the 17, move him up into the 7th position. Meanwhile, Mark Dumont in a battle right now. Wasn't in a battle with Kevin Powell. Now he's got Kevin Brown looking up to the high side. Brown going to move into the 13th position. As here comes Eric Warman and Christopher Simon around the Weichel machine. So Adam Weichel, top 10, sliding backwards. He's got the 66 of Shane Parrish, who was the reason for our first caution on lap number 10. Having a great recovery back up into the top 10. As Chuck Sweeting now around the 29 of Brent McCoy. And Sweeting trying to run down Jonathan Jennings. As you can see, except for that lap where he was just going around Brent McCoy, Sweeting has been a little bit quicker than Jennings here with 24 laps to go. See what this lap looks like, a little bit slower again due to the lap traffic. We're going to keep an eye on this battle right now as Brent McCoy and Carson Burrows both make their way down onto pit road with 24 laps to go. So now it's got me wondering if everybody else is going to be able to make it to the end here, or if anybody's saving a little bit of fuel. Steve Gerber making his way around the Weichel machine. And Sweeting just a little bit quicker that time, 5/100ths of a second. Not quite a big enough gap there to try to run down Jennings, but he is slowly eating into that lead. And I hate to bring up the C word, but if we get a caution, that could change everything here in these closing laps. As again, Sweeting just a little bit quicker than Jennings, sitting back here in the 2nd position. Eric Warman taking a look down to the inside of John Smith. This is a battle for the 5th position. And Warman going to crack into the top 5. And how about Shane Parrish? Take a look down to the inside of Chris Simon. Parrish now up into the 7th position, trying to get around John Smith for 6. Going to make it 3 wide as they come off of turn number 4. And more drivers pitting. The 14 of Mark Dumont coming down onto pit road this time. Richard Leclerc, the 117 on pit road, as here comes Parrish looking down to the inside. Man, what a recovery for Parrish. Running up in the top 5. Has an issue. Gets turned around. Falls to the back of the field. And then drives his way back up into the top 5. As we have 20 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway in the MARSS Properties 120. Back up front, Jonathan Jennings dealing with some lap traffic, getting around Daniel Wilkerson. Chuck Sweeting also has some lap traffic to deal with as he's trying to get around the 20 of Michael Dow. And with the laps clicking down, I don't think there's going to be enough time for Sweeting to run down that 25 machine. One driver who is running hard, though, as Shane Parrish now up into the 4th position. That car is flat flying right now, as he is starting to run down Chris Leftwich. Let's take a look at the lap times here. And Leftwich, yeah, just a 2.4, yeah, quite a bit slower than Parrish is running right now. Let's see what the looks like as they come across the stripe. And that time by, Parrish was almost 0.3 of a second quicker. So with that gap right now being just over 7 seconds, does Parrish have enough time to run down the 13 of Chris Leftwich and get himself back onto the podium? Christopher Simon, John Smith battling it out as more drivers down on pit road. We see Kevin Powell, Steve Gerber, Kevin Brown, Adam Weichel. Oh, Weichel hard into the inside wall coming down onto pit road. Looks like he locked up the brakes. Hard contact with that inside wall. Chuck Sweeting, who is running down Jonathan Jennings, comes down pit road for his final stop. This is going to be the money stop for these drivers here. As you see Michael Dow. The question is, how much fuel are these guys going to take? Are they taking fuel only? Are we going to see any tires? Right sides go up on the 75. Looks like 2 tires for the 75. No, he's going to take all 4. As he's down away as Jonathan Jennings comes down onto pit road. And we got just 14 laps to go. I don't know if 4 tires is the right call. Let's see what Jennings does here on his pit stop. See if the right sides go up. Right sides are up on the 25. Left side's up too, so 4 tires looks like it is going to be the call for these drivers as the 66 of Shane Parrish now takes over the lead with 14 laps to go. Of course, you see that beautiful MARSS Properties machine. Also the sponsor of the race. Of course, MARSS Properties offers vacation house getaways in North Carolina within an hour from the ocean. Call 817-705-4108 and speak to Shane directly about your North Carolina getaway. Christopher Simon makes his way down on the pit road, pitting from the 3rd position. And what's amazing to me is Shane Parrish, not just is he leading right now with a few laps to go, but he's maintaining speed. He's actually been one of the faster cars out on the racetrack. And he's got that damage to the right front. Did you see a front view of this car coming down off the corner here? If you look right in front of that right front tire, the fender is pushed in quite a bit. You see that tire, you can see the fender pushed in, and surprisingly, that's not hurting the speed too much on that 66 machine. Here comes John Smith down on the pit road. More drivers rejoining the racetrack. Jamie Horn up in the 2nd position currently, running that higher lane. Don't know if he's trying to save a little bit with 10 laps to go. Yeah, you hear that 98 shutting it off, letting it roll through the corner. Let's listen to Shane Parrish. It doesn't sound like Parrish is saving any fuel at all. He was last on pit road on lap 42. So I don't think he is going to be able to make it to the end. Jamie Horn might be able to, though, as here comes Jonathan Jennings. Currently in the 5th spot, trying to get around the 29 of Brent McCoy. I'll put Jennings up in the 4th. Now, the speed differential right now, last time by, Jennings ran a 29.54. Shane Parrish ran a 31.40. Jamie Horn ran a 31.7. So drivers in fuel saving mode right now, except for those who pit. Jennings is also about 30 seconds behind your leader. As Parrish has some lap traffic running up on him right now, we see the 93 trying to make a look down to the inside, and Kevin Powell will indeed get his lap back. Right behind, we see the 117 of Richard Leclerc. It's being scored 3 laps down right now. As we see this gaggle of cars on different tire strategies making their way. You see Steve Gerber trying to get his lap back. And that'll put 11 cars on the lead lap. Christopher Simon's going to try to sneak by as through. That will be 12 cars on the lead lap with just 6 laps to go. Does Shane Parrish have enough fuel to make it to the end? We know Jamie Horn also saving fuel right now, up in the 2nd position. As Shane Parrish getting ready to come across the stripe. And Parrish is out of fuel. Parrish down onto pit road. I think he just ran out of fuel. And that's going to give the lead of the race to the 98 of Jamie Horn. Jamie Collins looks like he is, or Josh Cully, excuse me, looks like he's out of fuel as well. Issues for Adam Weichel. He's got heavy damage to that 17 machine. See if we can see what happened to Weichel here. And, it's already in front of him. Oh, this is what happened to Josh Cully here. Just a little 3-wide racing and, hard contact with the outside wall. So Josh Cully with some damage now in the 4th position as Jonathan Jennings has just made his way by. And with 4 laps to go, the caution comes out. Caution is out. Looks like it is for Chris Leftwich, who's reset to the pits. It's going to bring out our wreckage rewind to see what happened to the 13 machine. Whoops. See the 13 down on the bottom underneath Christopher Simon. Oh, did you see that right wheel lock there? Catches his teammate up into the outside wall. Comes sliding back across the racetrack. Well, that is going to change everything here. Because we're going to have ourselves a green-white checker. And Jamie Horn has to come down pit road. He is almost out of fuel. So that's going to give the lead of the race to the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Jonathan Jennings back in 2nd. Brent McCoy in the 3rd spot. Carson Burrows going to be in 4th, and then Kevin Powell from the 5th position. Speaking of damage to the 25 of Jonathan Jennings. Heavy damage to the left front of that machine. Let's go back here and take a ride along with Jennings and see what happened to this car. Oh, he's got the damage already here, so I am not sure what happened to this 25. Trying to find what happened to Jennings here. You see a lot of damage to the 25. Oh, he was involved in that as well. That was Jennings that was in the middle. I wasn't even paying attention that was Jennings that got caught up in that one. So a lot of damage to the 25 of Jonathan Jennings here. You see that front valence way off the racetrack. We'll take a look at Chuck Swings. You can see how close that, that front valence is to the ground. And if you look at these two cars side by side, you can see just how much damage that 25 machine has. As Sweeting's going to choose the inside lane, putting Jonathan Jennings up on the outside. Brett McCoy going to restart in third with Carson Burrows from the fourth position. Steve Gerber, Kevin Powell back in row number 3. Christopher Simon, Shane Parrish, then Adam Thompson and Kevin Brown in row number 5. Parrish might be the one who's benefited most from this caution. We saw he had quite a bit of speed. He was able to come down pit road. Took fuel only. I don't know what kind of speed he's going to have with these older tires, but we are about to see as we are getting ready to turn them loose again here at Texas Motor Speedway as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Chuck Sweeting is going to bring him down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. We are back racing here with 2 laps to go. And that damage really affecting that 25 of Jonathan Jennings as you see Sweeting just pulling away. Brett McCoy trying to run down that 25. Here comes Kevin Powell trying to make a move here as well. And then the one of Carson Burrows right here in the mix as well. Doesn't look like that damage is hurting Jennings too much here as the white flag is in the air. One more lap to go. Chuck Sweeting out in front. A little battle back here. Jamie Horn going 3 wide with Steve Gerber and Christopher Simon. As they come down the backstretch for the final time, Chuck Sweeting down into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4 and down to the stripe. And your winner here at Texas will be Chuck Sweeting in the 25. Jonathan Jennings comes home in second. Kevin Powell brings it home in third. Jamie Horn in fourth. And Carson Burrows back in the 5th position. How about that? Kevin Powell up 24 positions from where he started. But Chuck Sweeting comes home with the victory here from Texas Motor Speedway. As Sweeting's going to come down here to the start-finish line. He's going to burn it down and celebrate his win here tonight in the MARSS Property 120 here in the Doghouse Racing League, brought to you by Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Let's go ahead and look at the full results here. Chuck Sweeting gets the win. Jonathan Jennings second. Kevin Powell in third. Jamie Horn, Carson Burrows, your top 5. Brett McCoy in the 6th position. Christopher Simon brings it home 7th. Steve Gerber, Kevin Brown, and John Smith round out your top 10. Mark Dumont brings it home 11th. Tyler Millette in the 12th spot. Adam Thompson, Shane Parrish, and Josh Cully, your top 15. Bill Gentry brings it home in 16th. 17th was Stephen Bonomo, Mike Leftwich back in 18th, Daniel Wilkerson 19th, and Michael Dow brings it home in the 20th position. Richard Leclerc back in 21st, John Gannis back in 22nd, Chris Leftwich 23rd, Adam Weichel brings it home 24th, Eric Warman in 25th, Zachary Tyler, Jason Ross, and Jeffrey Engel round out the field here tonight from Texas Motor Speedway as we get ready to talk to our top three. See you in the waiting room here. We'll start with our third place finisher, Kevin Powell. Kevin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Josh, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing well. What a run for you here tonight. Up 24 spots from where you started. Did not have a very good qualifying position here tonight, but able to drive your way back up through the field. Looks like a little bit of strategy was able to help you there. Talk us through the race and the strategy that you were able to employ to get yourself up to the top three.
Man, when I just felt going super hard on the beginning of the run was not the way to go. If you noticed when the race first started, I fell off the pack a good bit, but we had that early caution. I went in, I did not take tires, I just got fuel, and came back out, and as the tires started getting older, I just started picking them off, one by one, and it felt the car felt great. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. I guess maybe I got lucky there with that late race caution, but I felt like I had a top 5 finish either way.
Well, that late race caution benefited a few people, really hurt some others. Talk us through that green white checker because I know you were kind of all to the wall there trying to get yourself up onto the podium.
Yeah, man. So I wasn't sure what tires people had in front of me, and I was debating, do I start in second gear, do I start in third gear, because I didn't want too much spin. So I was like, I'll just watch the leader. I'll start in second, watch the leader, and just if it starts to spin, just get out of it. And we got to going good, and I noticed that I was a little faster than the 29, and so I tried to make a move going into one. He put a good block on me, so I just set him up off of 4, I think it was, and he tried to hold me low, but I think my tires were just a little bit better than his were, and I ended up getting that third position. I'm not sure if I could have caught the leaders if I had another lap or so, but man, it felt fast.
Well, definitely made it work here tonight. Next week, you guys are moving on to Iowa Speedway. How do you like your chances there from Iowa?
I love the tracks where it's off throttle time and tires play a part. I don't like the let's stay flat foot and you know race around each other. I like the driver to take care of the tires, and I feel like I have more of an input on my finish that type of racing. So I'm excited to go to Iowa.
Well, good luck next week at Iowa. And of course, Kevin, before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out you guys for the broadcast y'all do for us each week. We enjoy watching it back, and I know everybody enjoys watching the live race. And give a shout out to all the admins here at Doghouse. We really put a lot of time and effort into this. I may have slacked a little bit lately, and they pick it up, so I really appreciate them guys. All of our sponsors, our series sponsors, I can't name them all. Big shout out to them. Without this, it'd be a lot harder for us to do this each week, multiple divisions, and all the fans and anyone watching at home.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the run on the third place finish here tonight. Awesome run back through the field. Good luck next week at Iowa, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
That was third place, Kevin Powell. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, a great run for you here tonight. Unfortunately, got caught up in a late race scuffle there. Quite a bit of damage to the car, but able to manage a second place finish. Talk us through those last couple laps, especially dealing with the damage to that car. It looked like it was still pretty on pace, but I don't think he had anything for Chuck there at the end.
No, it was off a little bit. I think it might have knocked the toe off on the right side, right front. So that's unfortunate. typically wouldn't go 3 wide, but that situation had to try to win the race. But I was for sure that they could hold their line. Well, the guy on the outside, the guy on the bottom did fine, but it is what it is. Got second still, so.
Yeah, great points day for you here tonight. And the strategies were kind of all over the place here tonight with that early caution and that late caution. Looked like some people were staying out, some people taking 2 tires. I noticed the last stop, everyone was taking 4 tires. Were the tires really that important here tonight to keep underneath you that you had to take 4 on that final stop?
No, it was when the first caution, or the first caution come out. We're doing stages, so it was right in the window for us to make it to the stage. We could only go like 32 laps on the tank, so 8 laps when the caution come out, that would put us just past the stage, and I think that's what some of us did. Some others chose to do different, and it got really slick out there on them 40-something lap old tires, but I needed to save a set for. I knew I had to pit twice. So.
Well, regardless, a great run for you here tonight, Jonathan. Next week we move on to Iowa Speedway. How do you like your chances there in Iowa?
I love short tracks, man. As long as lap traffic don't get me.
Yeah, it seems like there's always one race a season where the lap traffic gets you. So hopefully you got it out of your way here tonight and had yourself a great run. And of course, John, before I let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, Daniel and all the admins for everything they do, and all the series sponsors. Not sure who it is, but thank all of them for helping the league get bigger, and congrats to Chuck and Kevin on the win and the good run.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the run up here tonight. Good luck next week to Iowa, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a great night. So that was Jonathan Jennings. Let's bring in the man of the hour, driver of the 75 machine, Chuck Sweeting. Chuck, you got Josh up in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Josh, how's it going?
Man, it's going great for me. Not as good as for you, though. What a race here tonight. Beating Jonathan Jennings, especially on that green-white checker there at the end. I know he had a little bit of damage, but man, your car was just on rails all night long, and that thing was just hooked up. Talk us through the strategy there, because it seemed like there was a little bit of a mixture of strategy, especially that final stop. Some guys taking 4 tires, some guys taking 2. I noticed you and Jonathan both took 2 tires. Was that kind of or 4 tires, excuse me. Was that the kind of the way to go with the way these tires were wearing out tonight that you had to take 4?
On this track, yeah, I didn't even consider taking 2. It was going to be 4, even though we didn't have a lot of laps left. We had 16, 17 laps left when we pitted, but this track is so worn out, and it just kind of kills the tires. You lose so much grip. So yeah, definitely 4. I kind of hate it for Jonathan. He got caught up in something. He would have won otherwise, because man, he's just fast every race.
Yeah, it seems like there's always one race. I said to him, one race per season where lap traffic gets to him. And talking about the lap traffic, it seemed like again because of all the different strategies, there were just so many different cars running at different speeds. Did that really change the way you had to drive there at the final stint there to keep yourself out of trouble?
Yeah, it did. I almost got caught up in something going into turn 1. And I actually hit the guy in the back, but it didn't. I don't think it hurt the car, and he was stuck on the wall, and there was somebody inside of me. But yeah, the car was it'd be tight and on entry and center, and if you didn't drive it right, I think a lot of the guys would kill that right front, and then they drift up and get stuck on the wall somewhere. And but then late in the run, it got kind of free on the exit, so it was an interesting setup.
Well, again, able to get the win here tonight. Next week, we move on to Iowa Speedway. How do you like your chances there at the short track?
I like it. I like that track. It's fun to drive. We'll have to see which groove works next week, because I don't think I've driven this car on that track, but you used to could run the high line in 3 and 4, and then it changed to the low line. I don't know where it's at now, so I'll have to put some practice in and figure that out. But it should be a good race. It's a nice, fun track. It's pretty wide, even though it's a short track, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that one next week here on Intensity. So, again, congratulations on the win here, Chuck. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank? Any shots you got to give?
Just thanks to the admins for all the work they do. Thanks to viewers for tuning in and watching, and hope they enjoyed it. And thanks to all the respect from the other drivers too. So it's appreciated. I'm new to the league, so I'm trying to learn everybody, and it seems like it's working out pretty well. Everybody's pretty clean here, so I'm having fun and got a little bit lucky tonight, but it's good to get a win. I was prepared to tell you in the interview that I was getting sick of finishing second to Jonathan, but ended up I got the win tonight. So good night.
A lot of people are sick of finishing behind Jonathan, so
I'll bet.
but
He's really, really good.
He is. He's quick pretty much everywhere. But man, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Go celebrate, and good luck next week at Iowa. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, hopefully so. Appreciate it, man. You have a good night.
You as well. So that was your winner, Chuck Sweeting, getting the win here tonight from Texas Motor Speedway. Of course, again, we want to thank all of our great partners here that make this possible, including our series sponsor, Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Trackside NASCAR Outlet is an authorized Lionel dealer with full line of diecast, including cup, Xfinity, truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet also offers everything from full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at www.tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Of course, also brought to you by Group 6. Rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, we're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6inc.com. Of course, our website over at intensityracing.com. If you're a small-time race team looking for some swag, check out intensityracing.com. Of course, our other great partner over at the Butt Kicker. If you're looking for that little extra edge, the Butt Kicker is the way to go. For gaming haptics, check them out at thebuttkicker.com. And lastly, our great race sponsor tonight, MARSS Properties. MARSS Properties offers vacation house getaways in North Carolina within an hour from the ocean. Call 817-705-4108 and speak to Shane directly about your North Carolina getaway. And that's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. And thank you for joining us. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. As our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over